True crime material for sight. Ding dong here, world of YouTube. For some apparent reason, yesterday, something was pulling me. And I'm glad I took the challenge. Not really a challenge, but just something that came up on YouTube and I decided to check in on. Something I used to watch back in the late 80s, 90s, of course. And if anybody hasn't ever seen these episodes, I advise you to go back in time and check them out. I mean, wow, I literally kind of forgot. I mean, I didn't, but I did. And Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. Now, back in the day, because of of course, the times I was in bad times. Of course, a lot of these episodes that came out around my goddamn drinking problem. That's why I lost a lot of valuable time. And I would have came across this one if I watched it a lot more often, but I didn't. But they're free on YouTube with some ads, but oh man, I've been watching, started watching 2 o'clock yesterday and stopped watching around midnight. That's how damn good some of these shows got me into. And it's like a blast from the past. And, of course, today, did some stuff around the house and whatnot. Did some errands. Turned it right back on, and this case came up. And long, way long before the Delphi murders, this case is just as bizarre as the Delphi, maybe even a little bit more, due to the fact that not only did this case of Kurt Sova have multiple witnesses, nobody wants to talk about nothing, but yet the two main, I would call, suspects in this case had vanished in thin air. All right? And once again, a lousy investigation by the police. I'm sorry. They had someone that literally walked into a store, told the clerk to get rid of the picture posted on a window of Kurt Sova, because he'll be dead in 2 days. And he literally walked out of the store and, with full suspicions. Of course, the clerk did not pull the picture down and was smart enough to call the authorities. Here's a picture, and here's an actual picture of the body and where it was found. Now, this kid was supposedly not the type that would like to hang around with strangers. He smoked a little marijuana one now and then. I wouldn't label him as a friggin', full-blown pothead. Dude, man, oh, dude, and all wasted at the core and can't think and function, and I would not label this kid at that. I mean, just by the look of his picture, he looks like, and, just by, of course, the parents speak of him. And, of course, I'm sure they would have thrown this kid under the bus if he had a record of being in trouble. Say so, he was one of them teens They used to give us a runaround in the police department. I'm for damn sure they would have friggin' said something. Of course, back in the time of 1981, there wasn't much out there to go on by. And that's why a lot of these cases back in time really, really got overlooked. They even use what I certainly do use, just like my saying, Sherlock Holmes. To catch a killer, you must think like the killer. A friggin' goddamn investigator literally used the same thing, not to think like a killer, but, and I quote, bear with me, that, where are you? Right here. And I quote, the manner of death in this particular case was signed out as possibility accidental. He hadn't been beaten in any way. He hadn't been traumatized in any way. He didn't have enough alcohol to end his life. He had no pre-existing natural disease. And as Sherlock Holmes said, you eliminate all other possibilities, and that which remains is the truth. This is what diagnosis by exclusion. And that being said, there is something missing that I think that I came up on this case. That when the body was found and examined, I believe this is a apartment complex that he was in. And it was not too far from the location where the body you see there. 500 yards, mind you. Supposedly Friday night, October 28th. Oh no, it was probably the 27th, because this is a dark, frightening discovery in a ravine. So the night, no, he was missing for 5 days, sorry. Missing for 5 days. And a girl in this apartment said, and made a call to the parents that he could have been sleeping in her basement. There was a party that night, 5 days earlier. Another witness had seen him just before the party. The guy was driving by. Damn it, where'd it go? Right here, this David Trusnick knew the deceased. I pulled over to offer Kurt a ride. He said the guy that he was walking with that day didn't even know him. So once again, here we are. I got this poor Kurt walking with an individual that's unknown. And a van pulled up. He heard Kurt yell out, Franco. They both ran over to the van. They got in. I didn't know Kurt was missing. If I would have known he was missing, there would have probably have been something I could have done. Could have followed that van, but I didn't know. And 2 days later, he was found dead. And that was the last time I saw him. Now this always brings to where I think. This is the way I think. This is the way I think the world should think. Because if you think about it, and if you think this way, maybe a lot more cases could be solved, right? You know what I'm saying? And be... Jesus Christ. So I'm up here on the hill, watching my kids slide. I'm doing a little video like I'm doing. And as you can see, my nose is lit up like Rudolph. I'm Rudolph the jackass. True crime. Sitting in my car, looking stupid. Oh my God, but in all serious, folks, seriousness. In all seriousness. I'm up here doing a video and this happens. Some poor soul rammed himself into a tree. Breaking news! I don't know what they were doing. Like I said, I was up here doing a video. Here's my kids. Another ambulance is coming. And, yeah. And as you can see, it ain't a big monstrous tree down there, but, oh, man. Poor people. Don't know Jesus Christ, what the hell had happened, but what the fuck? WTF moment. Oh, I'm hoping and praying the person is all right. I'm probably going to sit here a few minutes. Hopefully we ain't got to leave. Oh, brother. Actually, I don't even think I can get out of here. Oh, man. I'm stuck. Help. Anyways, as I was saying, as maybe if the world would think a little this way, and once again, a witness seeing things of the unordinary, people unknown, vehicles unknown, and of course, 2 days later, someone dead. Now that's kind of fishy in a way, you may ask, because it says 2 days later. You know, he said he was dead, but they found his body 5 days after the, the house that he claimed to be seen in. So I don't know whether or not he was roaming the streets with these people and getting caught up in the wrong crowd, obviously. These are probably the people that would like, and mind you, 6 months later, a boy who knew Kurt ended up in another ravine. And the signature move in this crime was a left shoe or right shoe, which one it was. It was, bear with me. I think it was a left shoe. Was missing. Nowhere to be found. Of course, if you want to check out this article, Unsolved Mysteries it is. Just type in his name and it will come up. You will go under the Unsolved Mysteries and read it. But a left shoe was missing. His right shoe was actually found in a set of rocks. But for someone that didn't get beat up, don't even mention if he got drugged. And my theory idea on this simply right away was there was no alcohol to say he was dead. They didn't say anything about drugs. Incorrect me if I'm wrong. And I do believe I've heard of this, of a type of drug. I don't know what it's called, but I heard it somewhere down the line. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I could have sworn I heard about a drug used to screw up your fucking body and not be detected months later. Now, if anybody knows of a drug like that, let me know. I'll have to look that up my own self. And where this is 1981 now, remember, a lot of things were starting to grow and be experimented at this time. Just like back when heroin was exposed in Vietnam, or the Vietnam War, or Vietnam. I'm sorry I get that confused if people don't like the pronouncing of that, but I've been so confused on that, which one it is. Oh, man. Heard many people battle that out, boy. But heroin was a badass drug when it came out, and it still is to this day. And who knows what could have been laced back then. Just doing an experiment. And then, of course, not show up in the system but months later, a month later. Too late, because the body's already been examined. And, the hell? Kid got a phone call from some fake shit. Jesus Christ. So like I'm saying, who knows? Who knows? And what was said by the person, now this is a kicker. Bear with me. For the fellow that Kurt went to the party with told me Kurt had become ill. And this is before I even read this, I thought of this. Took him outside for some air because it was chilly night. He said he went upstairs to get Kurt's jacket. He left him hanging on a fence. He said he went up to get his jacket, came back down, Kurt was gone. That's when I think I became hysterical. I thought, my God, something happened to him. At that party or in between the party and home. Only I didn't, in my wildest dreams, expect him to turn up dead. Now, the biggest buffoon, idiotic thing done in this case was the guy that went into the store that told the person, take that damn picture down. Kid's gonna be dead in 2 days. Must have known something. They got a hold of this kid. Did a search. And because he was determined mentally ill, they let him go. Let him go. Just let him go. I would have kept that kid under goddamn surveillance in a jail cell until that kid was found. I wouldn't have let that SOB walk out the goddamn door. If I was a right officer, and if that was my case, ooh, not too good. Some kid getting taken out of here in a ambulance sled. Hope they're alright. Oof. Must have knocked themselves out on that tree. Eek. But, as a friggin' officer of the law, man, to let that sick son of a bitch. And of course, they found the body. Of course, the guy disappeared. In the supposed van. Where was it? Why wasn't it hunted down? APB, all point lookout. APL, whatever the hell they call it. I would have had to search for that goddamn van up and down every goddamn street. Every state. Once again, a vehicle found in a case and not searched for. Big mistake. A fucking person of interest, a suspect, taken in custody and let go. I want to let that son of a bitch, I don't care if he had a mental illness or not. That son of a bitch knew something and he disappeared. That's right. What is wrong? You know what? I'm sure I would be backed up if the late great detective or the writers of Sherlock Holmes were still alive, and I bet you they'd back me up. And I quote myself, a case should never be overlooked. Any goddamn piece of evidence or witness should never be, say so, if it's in terms where you have them arrested, should never be released. And you should look at all possibilities beyond recognition of anything. This kid's body was left in the terrain. Right there. 3 boys found him walking one day, just strolling through the... And that's another thing. Another town. 700 people. Population. Everybody knows your name. Except for the people that strolled on in town one day and then just seamlessly disappeared. I mean, come on, man. You shouldn't be throwing away evidence. You shouldn't be determining that the case was accidental at that. There was more than an accident. And just to even think that this, oh my God. And this was in Ohio, mind you. So of course, I'm going to do some mapping on it. Seems to be a lot of unexplained murders out in Midwest. Too much to even acknowledge. To say, wow, what the fuck is going on? Especially back in the day, boy. You should never underestimate anything in a case. Always hold on every goddamn piece of evidence you get. And you should search to the fullest. Before you even let go of anything. I don't know, man. This case is bizarre. This poor kid's life has been taken. And still to this day, I didn't even look up to see if his parents were still alive. I think this aired in like the early 90s. So, of course, Unsolved Mysteries, though, did help a lot of cases, but they couldn't help this one. Because why? Because of people not doing a little bit more than what they should have. Not pushing more towards something than just what's on the table. You got to push more in any case before you can conclude any kind of determination of an accident or unknown. It's sick, man. It's definitely sick. Hope one day the people got brought to justice, but in this case, you'll never know. Because why? That poison that was put in his body, the poison that was put in this kid's body, I tell you, man, I bet you it was something that wouldn't show up in the body until later on. And whoever gave it to him, Must have not have liked them. Maybe trying to do or make new drugs and use these people as experiments. Because, like I said, 6 months later, I believe, a kid that knew him ended up dead the same way. Shoe missing, lying in a ravine, not the same one, and just laid there to fucking decay. So, with that being said, oh, and then the lady that had the party, right? You know, don't tell anybody who was there. They don't even have any descriptions in everybody that was there. The party was supposedly of a lot of unknown people. Poorly investigated, man. Another lost soul by a poor investigation. And someone that just don't care of the word meaning or words meaning of life. Till our next video, be safe, take care, always beware of your surroundings. And if something looks suspicious, man, I claim everybody should do something. Take that picture. Maybe do a little investigating. Put it aside just in case something comes up. If you got that gut feeling, do not let it go. Do something. Do something. Do something with your gut feeling. And like Robert Stack said in the back in the day, maybe you can help unsolve a mystery. Or solve a mystery, that's right. Out.